Well, the countdown to Election Day, it's less than 2 months away, isn't it?
It sure is. And even your teen, well, they have an opinion about what is happening.
Yeah, you know, they may have some really salient points to make, some concerns. You should talk to your teens once in a while.
That's right. So joining us now is clinical psychologist and teen expert Barbara Greenberg. Barbara, thanks for being with us. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yes, it's always a pleasure to be here. And I have to tell you, this is an exceptional time of year to be a parent of a teenager, because the election year presents a wonderful opportunity for parents to do what I love to say, to shut up and listen, to what their kids have to say about all things related to politics.
Well, I'm sure they're getting a lot of exposure to the political scene in their coursework in school.
That's right. And what parents can also do is they can sit down with their kids and watch the debates and watch the speeches. And they can ask their kids what their opinions are. Kids are much more likely to talk to their parents if their parents ask about social issues rather than about their school grades. And teens have actually identified the issues that they're most interested in. They're interested in health care, they're interested in education reform, in gun control, in social issues.
They must be interested, you know, with seeing all the news about people being out of work, maybe in their own home. One of the parents
right. You're looking down the road and saying,
they're looking at jobs too,
you know? When I'm out
there? That's right. They're very interested in that because they're living that. And they're interested in gay marriage. They're interested in abortion. So these parents really have a lot of topics to select from. So around the dinner table, they can talk about politics rather than grades.
And we're also, kids also, just like we are, we're bombarded by the TV ads as well.
That's right.
And that's a great opportunity, too, to sort of just...
And you see the tone of these ads sometimes. They're really downright nasty.
They can get pretty aggressive, and that's another talking point with kids, to talk to them about how these ads are presented. So this is a great opportunity for parents to bond with their kids, and also a wonderful opportunity for kids to rock their vote and get out there and vote.
And, you know, I mentioned the ads being nasty. You see some of the confrontations between some of the pundits they get on these programs, the cable programs and whatnot, and they're going back and forth. And, you know, it look like they're ready to start duking it out any minute.
Yes, you know? It can get pretty contentious.
Now, how early should you start? What age do you think is just too young to sort of explain it to them?
I think when they are probably in middle school, they'll want to start talking about the election, because in school they start talking to kids about history, politics, current events in middle school. I think prior to that, it's only the very precocious kid that would be interested in politics.
And for kids even younger than that, you could at least spend the time explaining a little bit more about government and how it works.
That's right.
And about getting out there to vote and how it's your right.
Yes, so it starts the dialogue. It starts the dialogue between parent and child.
But what if you try to start and they say, well, I don't know anything about that. Don't ask me, I don't know. How do you get them to open up on
And that's when you start showing them articles, and that's when you sit in front of the television with them and you present them with information. If you have a child, for example, who's very interested in recycling and everything green, you can get them interested by talking about environmental issues. There's such a long list of issues to pull from that you're bound to find an interest that your kid clicks with.
We have issues, that's for sure.
Yes, we do.
Now, a lot of times when you're coming here, you're talking about getting to know your child, getting to know your teen, and getting to know your teen will give you an idea of what's important to them, and that will spur the conversation.
Right. Yes, and it may lead to a whole host of other topics.
And a lot of questions.
Yes.
Right, a lot of other issues.
And they love to be respected. They love for you to ask about their opinion.
So, you know, we're talking about teens now. Do you ever start earlier? Could you start at 10 or 11? Or
yes.
Anytime?
It's a wonderful question, because you should start the dialogue with your kids as soon as they are verbal. I don't know that you can start the political conversation with them when they're little, but laying the foundation for the dialogue should start as early as possible.
That they should feel free to open up to you and think about things around them and all of that.
Absolutely.
Now, what should a parent keep in mind if their strong view on politics differs radically from their teen's view? What should a parent keep in mind?
That's a good question. That's really very okay. It's very important, if they have a different view than you do, to respect what they're saying and to let them verbalize and articulate why their opinion is different than yours. It'll give them a lot of good practice, not only in giving their opinion, but also in public speaking.
That's right. And you just reassure them, I still love you. I disagree with that, but I respect your right to that opinion.
And we'll pick up the debate again, I'm sure.
Yes.
That's right.
Barbara, always a pleasure to have you. Thanks.
Thank you for having
Great
me.
tips.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Coming up on Morning Extra, Corky Van will be here. Our savvy shopper is talking about buying in bulk and how it can help you save down the road.